Hello and welcome back to the ORCA Rank Down, where we are counting down every presently existing Australian LRG. This was number 7 in the countdown, the first officially ranked season. We've had some great content with Melbourne Survivor Warrandyte. I was not able to successfully track down the winner or his boyfriend, but CM came along and gave me a great deep dive on the show. We also had one of the best tea parties we've had with Annabelle and Calvin and Tara, who gave us such great insight to all the fun happenings. I was personally excited to find out that Kyle of Backyard fame and Melbourne Survivor 1 used to date Jason Muscles. This was an exciting moment for me. I think that's probably the hottest couple I've ever heard of in the Survivor community. And then we did the deep dive, of course. First, Danny joined me for that. We went for 3 hours on this season. That's an impressive effort to deep dive into this season. And now we will be doing what we always do at the end of our wrap-up of the month. We'll be doing the awards. We're chatting with Liz. We'll get into that in a moment. I just want to flag very soon we'll be starting our coverage of Brisbane Survivor Season 1. If you haven't watched it, it's a pretty short one. It's about 7 eps. Even if you've not going to watch the whole thing, which, you know, people are busy, got things on, I recommend just checking out an episode or two because what's most impressive about it more than anything is the quality of the production and the edit that Sam did for his first. If it was his third outing, you'd be impressed. But even for a first outing, it's really, really polished. So I think it's a fantastic thing to watch in terms of production quality. And I think we'll be talking about that a lot in our Brisbane coverage. It's the 6th best LRG ever made. As we then move into our top 5 thereafter, we will be taking a break in the coverage in the countdown when Backyard Survivor 5 won well. I love this pun. I love these Survivor season related puns, just like yards apart. When that season comes out, we will take a break from the countdown to focus our coverage on Backyard Survivor 5 won well. But for now, we keep that rolling. That's still perhaps a few months away, I understand, from Kyle. So we'll be rolling into Brisbane next week. But tonight, we're finishing our coverage on Warrandyte. We've got Liz here. I'm going to bring her in a moment. I'm really excited to talk to Liz about the history of the season coming together and what it means to her. Welcome to the show, Liz.
Hey, thanks.
I'm going to get to the awards in a moment, but before I do, you know, I was thinking about this season today, and I've said before that I think this season, along with Yards Apart, really set the scene for LRGs in Australia. I think these two coming out similar time, filmed around a similar time. A lot of people, myself included, found these on YouTube through advertising or somehow, I'm not sure. And I think it's really set the community nationally where people saw these and said, oh, I could do something like this. I could play in it or I could make my own. Do you feel that way as well?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think, because this season aired during lockdown as well.
Okay, yeah.
And was a large part of, I think, the community in Melbourne. And I mean, really, yeah, like just around the place because of because it was lockdown, so everyone like didn't have to like be in the same place, like hang out. Everyone would get on like Zoom calls and like talk about it, like the episode. And like I just remember like Adam JD like just like interrogating like every like contestant who'd been like voted out, and they try to think back to like a few years ago when they played, be like, oh, what was I doing? Like I don't so yeah, I think like Warrandyte always, and Yards Apart like too, but probably for other like reasons, just holds like a special place in my heart. Yeah, and a lot of the people who played or like joined the production team are like I'm still like very close to like to this day. So yeah.
I was going to say that as well. Like, not only did the creation of this season define your life in terms of a bit of the Melbourne Survivor trajectory over the next couple of years to follow, but presumably you didn't know Tara before she played this?
So I had met Tara like once at like a meet up with like Adam Klein. where like, but she didn't remember me, I think.
Yeah. But, now she's
yeah.
one of your best friends. Like, if
She's
she
like,
doesn't play this,
she was my
then
bridesmaid. Like,
yeah, that's right. If she doesn't play that, you don't make this, you don't meet her in that real way. I understand you only started dating Liam like 2 weeks before this. Maybe if you didn't throw him into this crazy Survivor adventure, who knows? Who knows how sliding doors work? Maybe you wouldn't even be together. Who knows?
yeah.
You gave him such a favorable edit, he had to stick around. There's lots of people here that are like, you didn't name that episode. Like, I think that was because you were early in your episode. But that episode really should have been called Tara's quote, like $2 Kmart coach or something is what she referred to him as.
Oh, yes.
That should have been the episode title.
Coach. Yeah.
What?
He was so coach.
Yeah, and she called him Kmart coach. Like, how was that not the episode title? It was a shame.
It almost was. It was very close to being it. I think I wanted to make less Survivor references in some way of like appealing to those who don't actually watch Survivor.
Let's get real, Liz. No one watches LRGs if you don't watch Survivor. Like,
untrue.
Okay, fine. My friends who don't watch Survivor watch me, but that would be about it. Who's watching the LRGs that don't watch Survivor?
I think plenty of people. I've heard of a lot of people. Like, yeah, like I remember like last time like I was in Perth. Like I heard of like a lot of people who had like played like the first like season of Backyard.
Backyards is
and stuff, but they like kept watching.
As Annabelle said, Backyard's this weird sort of cult where, yes, there are people that just have watched Backyard Survivor, even though, they're not crewing it anymore or whatever. Like, yeah. To be fair, I think a lot of those people are actually on the crew. So it's watching the product of their efforts.
But also, like, I don't watch Survivor anymore. I just watch fan-made Survivors.
This is incorrect. You were all over.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That
all like over Titan Travels.
5-year gap.
You were all over Twitter about Titans vs. Rebels.
That's true.
You're back in. You've been the fire is ignited. 46 isn't that good. I don't know if you're bothering with that. I feel like if we could segue for a second, even as a Survivor tragic like me, new era Survivor is, I think, the best word, highly disposable. Like you watch it, it's fine. You watch it, and then I forget everything about it. I forget everything about who played or who they were. I don't care. Like I just have no attachment to the people.
I think it's very obvious from like watching Warrandyte or even like playing with fire, like how much I love old school Survivor. Yeah. Look, and there's an old school's great, but I think there's something about the modern season where I feel like the characters don't matter. I don't care about them. I think if they start doing they need to start building like these, like, we're sidetracking, but they need to start building up the legacy of these characters, multiple seasons. I need to see some returnees to make these people more than a one and done affair. Who am I supposed to care about? I don't know. Like Q's definitely going to come back from this current season. He's probably like the most interesting player they've had in about a decade. Because he's unique. He's fucking bizarre. Have you been watching this season? No, but obviously I live on Twitter, so like I hear a lot of things about like, yeah, everyone kind of hates Q and hated Banu.
Banu just got shoved down everyone's throat, and I think they wanted us to like him, but
and now it's Liz who everyone hates.
Yeah, she's just annoying. Calvin's got a vomit for Q. Yeah, look, I'm not really a Q fan, but he's interesting. This is the thing. He's he's like Coach meets Philip Shepherd. He's like a combo of the two of them.
Right. Honestly, I love that combo.
More strategic than Philip, but more chaotic than Coach. Because Coach is pretty like stable as a player. Like he'll do what he says. Whereas, so this guy's sort of in the middle. But sometimes he's one, and then the next time he'll be something completely different, like per episode. So his strategy is very hard to determine. Anyway, we have sidetracked. All right, awards, big awards. Okay, so I'm going to get you. You're going to have a guess on what you think got the award. So the first one, we have the MVP. Who's joining the illustrious alumni of Toby, Rosie, Ben/Jeremy, Andrew, and who's going to join those 4 superstars, do you think, Liz?
MVP. So like it can't be the winner, right? Oh no, because Toby.
Yep,
Well,
Toby is the only winner. Jeremy drew with Ben, so there's been 2 winners that have got this. You don't have to be the winner.
On principle, I never vote for the winner because I'm like they've already won.
Yeah.
You know, they've got that. I feel like Tara might have. I don't know. But is there a fan favorite section? I forgot that.
This is like the fan favorite.
Okay, yeah. I think Tara. I think the MVP of the season, right? In terms of just
ding, Tara. Yeah, Tara. She basically got 50% of the votes. Ding, ding, ding. Everyone loves Tara. You want to have a guess at second place? This one's a bit more of a
second place.
One. Yeah.
You say it's a random one because I would have said like second place Jake.
Jake's actually in equal third with CM, but second place went to Emily.
Oh yeah, no, okay, that's it. I think a lot of people. Sorry.
I'm not saying it's random because she played a great game and she deserves the votes, but it's sort of like if I've only had 1 vote to give in my head, it probably wouldn't go there for me. So I'm who's got this thinking?
Yeah, I think a lot of people like watch it back and think like Emily was like pretty robbed, like definitely deserved votes.
Particularly when the other 2 were dating each other.
Well, so.
Particularly given the other 2 were dating each other.
Yeah, well, I don't even. I definitely think it's partially that, like, it comes into it. But I think it's also. I think you really like. I don't know, get like her story and stuff, like watching it. Whereas, like, I think being there, people maybe missed out due to circumstances.
Ashley says Tara's half asleep, is confused why Jake didn't win the MVP because the most valuable player. I think you can redraft most valuable player as most interesting player is probably what people are voting for. That's what I mean.
Jake was a very interesting player, and like ran the season, but like I think like I think Tara would just like stood out more.
Just the start. And also Calvin and Rancy got a vote. All right, so who wins the Annabelle Award for Best Pre-Merge Boot, joining such alumni as your sister, Rachel, Aston, Stephen? It's actually a tie, and every single person who was a pre-merger got a vote, at least 1 vote.
Okay. Am I guessing? Am I saying like who I think or who I think other people think?
Who do you think the fans voted for, Liz?
I think the fans voted for. I'm gonna say Ange.
She's one of them. She's one.
And I would say like Vince. Vince is
Ange and Vince. You've nailed it.
Yeah, and I 100% agree with it.
They've tied. They both got 6 votes each. Hat Jason got 4. So 4 votes for Hat Jason.
Yeah, no, I think like fair enough. I think he was kind of robbed. I think he would have done a lot better on Solano. Yeah.
Stephanie got 2, JP got 2, and poor Nat got 1. But still, someone gave Nat a vote. There you go. Everyone liked everyone. Okay, we now have the player people would like to see again. Play again. This is joining the alumni of Charlotte, Amy O, Aston / Charlene, Andrew. Who do you think got the votes here? There's a lot of votes, actually. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 5 people did not get a vote. Very popular cast.
Wow. Yeah. Who? Surely Tara got like the most.
Yeah, it's Tara.
Yeah. Obviously. But I'm interested when you got the second most.
Well done, Tara. Ange got the second most. Then Rancy. Then CM. And then JP, Vince, Jason Muscles, Ingrid, and your husband all got 1 vote. Did you give Liam the 1 vote, Liz?
I didn't.
I'm not saying someone else wouldn't give him a vote, but somebody else gave him a vote.
I asked him the other day. I was like, "Would you do you want to play again? Would you come back?" He's like,
Yeah. Did he vote for? So he presumably did not vote for himself then. But well done, Tara. We then have a question of: is this season, which is 7th best, too high, too low, or just right? What do you think the majority of people thought?
I would like to believe they thought too low.
The majority, and to be honest, I don't have the information of who's voting for each of these, but I have a feeling that most of the votes for each one come from people who played or are closely associated with the season or franchise, just based on the sort of way the numbers track. So a very honest answer for those people, half the votes thought this was just right.
Okay.
8 people thought it was too low.
How dare
And 3 nasty people thought it was too high.
How dare you? Those people.
Like, there are 3 people that think that Backyard 3 should be on top of this, Liz. But maybe they want more Liz content. Like, they're not happy with you hosting. They want to see the player.
I have very strong opinions on the rankings of every season.
Do you agree with them so far, or what? Not at all?
I'm not sure if I'm completely clear on how it turned out, so I don't think I can answer that.
So the bottom 4 seasons, I have not officially announced which order they were.
Yeah,
I think it was pretty clear that Melbourne 1 was last because it doesn't
exist.
That's on the front of what you did. This is the front of the product that's available for review. So as between Backyard 1, Backyard 3, and Canberra 1, I haven't said where they fell. It's just a general, they're in that bottom 4. And then this is the first one that I've revealed the ranking, that it was 7. Mm-hmm. And then I've revealed the next one we're doing is Brisbane, which was 6th. So you don't agree with any of this?
No, I think I agree but I'm more like, rather than ranking the seasons again, I rank them in terms of I have a ranking of Melbourne seasons in my head, I have a ranking of Backyard seasons in my head, and I have a ranking of Canberra seasons. So yeah, that's how I sort of have it. So I can't put them against each other exactly.
Yeah, I get it, and I'm not trying to say anyone's better than anyone else. It's just it's a fun exercise. I don't think anyone. And democracy doesn't work. We all know that. So just okay. So on a scale of 1 to 11, 1 is the best. Mm-hmm. Where would you rank? This is what did the audience say? Where would you rank Jake's game compared to that of the other 10? So where would you roughly put him?
I feel like people put him wait, okay, yeah, I don't know this question. Maybe 7.
Yeah, he's generally got it's a 5.81, but that does rank him 5th of the 5 winners that we have covered so far. Toby's last, but his game's his game's better than that. No one actually watched the game.
Above Jake. I love Toby, but
I know Toby's Toby's is considered the worst winner based on this.
Oh, yeah.
But that's only because no one has seen his game. If you watched my deep dive with him, I think you'd rate his game a lot higher because he played a fantastic
it's very, very dominant. But
you probably don't know. Jake, then Sally, then Jeremy and Sally are very close, and then Halim is currently got the best ranking of 4.79.
Right.
But equally, and with that group and the winners we've got coming up, there aren't a lot of dud winners in Australian LRGs. There's not many where you're like, oh, that person won. It just seems like a lot of the winners are really good. So it's sort of hard to rank them against each other.
Yeah.
Jake, I think, got a little bit downvoted just for the boyfriend of it all. And I've said in this coverage, I actually think his game stands on its own 2 feet. But if you don't know that, if you're not watching it with that in mind, you might just have a little he won, but equally he had an advantage.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I kind of look at it as like everyone has like there are so many different advantages that like people can have.
Yes, the secret boyfriend advantage is quite strong, though. I think we will talk about this in the coverage shortly.
It is. It is. I do. Yeah. I credit his game a lot more than Nick's. I have to say.
You like his game more than Nick's?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Jake's game is better than Nick's. All right, so the ORCA award. Everyone's been talking since day one. We knew who was going to win the ORCA. I just want to look all the ORCA votes. Like we unanimously going to this person. It wasn't even an attempt to try and put in second place and third place. It's just like 1, 2, 3. This person. I want to flag that on the fan vote, someone gave one to CM, Emily, Angela. Tara actually got quite a few, but it was a landslide in the fan vote. It was a landslide in the ORCA panel. So now the most important award of all, the Bromilow Medal. I welcome our 6th Bromilow medalist, joining the alumni of Kevin, Matt, Dom, Andrew, and I guess Ethan. But we'll see if he still gets it when we do Sydney. Welcome, Calvin, the ORCA of the season.
Hello. I'm flattered. I'm so flattered.
Moment of your life.
Yeah, if I wasn't going to win the season, like, why not win this? I'm still not sure if it's a compliment or an insult, but I'll take it.
Well, this is the ORCA pod. Annabelle and I consider ourselves to be great examples of this sort of character. And frankly, who cares if you win or lose as long as you're good TV?
Yeah, I mean, why not? Why ORCA? Is there a correlation between that and like the actual animal itself, or?
Did you watch Canberra Survivor 2? Probably not.
I'm halfway through it.
Do you know James Wolfe? Or you're seeing James Wolfe in it? Do you know James Wolfe, by the way?
Yes.
James Wolfe is the ORCA of that season. Self-described. Partway through the season, he starts doing these confessionals about how he's the apex predator of the season, and he goes with the water. And we're like, this is so like out of control, but we loved it because half the time, as you would know, Calvin, LRGs, you get people just saying like, oh yeah, I guess I'm in alliance with this person, and then like, is it boring? Like, say something interesting, and like walk out and say, I'm the apex predator, I'm dominating this game, I'm the ORCA, I'm gonna eat all these people. Like, that's what you want, and we were just loving it and living for it when we did the coverage. So then we started calling our podcast the ORCA Pod in tribute to James's behavior on that season.
Love that. Yeah, that's awesome.
So congratulations. I just brought you in. I saw you were watching live, so I brought you in. 5 years on, people are still loving your game. And, honestly, I've watched everything, and I'm doing rewatches for this, but some of these things I hadn't really watched in detail. Now everyone that I have watched or I'm going to watch, I've watched in some level before. And I would say without question, in my opinion, which is the only opinion that really matters, you are the best villain that's been on Australian LRGs.
I'm honored. I mean, who doesn't love a villain? Honestly, everyone. Like heroes versus villains, US Survivor, like all we were cheering on was the villains. Like, fuck the heroes. So, to be able to go out there and, be a bit of a bad bitch was awesome.
Everyone comes in saying, not everyone, but, villains come in saying, I'm going to be a villain. I don't care. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to lie. I'm going to steal. And then they don't follow through. But the way you massacred poor innocent Natalie after the second idol and then tried to turn the vote on her to get rid of her when she wholeheartedly wanted to work with you, and I think you believed that she wanted to work with you. You didn't think she was worshiping you. Was just a masterpiece of villainy that most people aren't prepared to do on LRGs because I don't know if it's you worry about how you're going to get filmed. Because I don't think that matters that much for this stuff. It's not real Survivor. You're not going to have 1 million people on Twitter sending you hate mail. But I think it's just being that much of a bastard to a nice person is really hard, isn't it? Like,
I say at the beginning that like I'm going to lie, cheat, and steal. But like in the game, I wasn't looking for those moments. Like like I wasn't seeking it all out. It kind of just all fell into my lap. If that makes sense, like
it does, but it's like a lot of people when it falls into their lap wouldn't then take the opportunity to go the villain route. Like You know, you could have done that a different route. You could have helped Nat find her idol, and then she's got it, and now she's your ally. You know, there's ways you could have done that. And that actually might have been smarter strategically, but it would not have been as fun as it was to watch.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The route to play is to play the friend route, make an ally. Yeah, you know, try and sway her onto our side and all that sort of stuff.
I've
obviously thought about all this shit like 100 times over, but yeah, way more better for the TV is to do what I did.
I want 2 fucking idols, and now I've got. Anyway, thank you, Calvin. Thanks for making the season so good. Thank you for following on with our coverage. We love seeing you. We love being a part of it. Congratulations on becoming the officially 5th ORCA of this coverage.
Love it. I'm stoked. It's been fun following along.
Next time you see Matt from Backyard One fame, you can tell him you've got something in common. I don't know if you see him or not. But...
I saw him at the filming of season 5, actually, at Backyard.
Did you tell him that he won the award? Because he probably wasn't following the coverage.
I think we filmed that before that. So
okay. Yeah. All right. All good, Calvin. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me again.
Great. All right, Liz. Now, done the awards. Tell me a little bit about how this season came together. You had made your drinks come true with a little season for your 21st birthday. You sort of filmed it and then threw together a quick thing. You had the finale, the live reveal, which was lots of fun. And you turn around and say, you know what? I could do this on a bigger and grander scale. I could do it with people that I don't know personally, get applicants. What inspired you to do that? Where did you get that inspiration? How'd you go about it?
It's hard to remember back so far, but I think while preparing for season 1, I had it in my mind. I think that's why I called it like Melbourne Survivor and not like Liz Survivor or Liz's Survivor Birthday Bash or something. Because like I wanted it to like be a thing and like keep going. And I think the reason I wanted to do it over a weekend the next time was partially just to have more like time in votes so that people could actually like play out more like strategy and that would have time to like, you know, get proper like footage and stuff to be able to make episodes out of. But also because I'd been watching a bit of like Surviving Reelfoot and Survivor BC in Canada. And so I really got around the like the survival aspect of things and like camping and you know, setting up a shelter and sleeping on the ground and stuff. And so I wanted to like put that like into it and see how people would go with that.
Certainly that appealed to me a lot in terms of applying for playing with fire, the survival aspect, the shelter, the sleeping on the ground, the, you know, eating not much but rice, like you know, comparatively to Backyard Exile, which I loved Yards Apart, but Exile, I do appreciate they had to change your venue very shortly before filming, so it did impact what they were doing. It was the realness of the survival element of the game that was what drew me to apply specifically for Melbourne over perhaps Backyard at the time. It really gave it that it was real old school Survivor feel. It had like Australian outback vibes. I don't know if that's what, a little dirty and dusty. And so who helped you put it together for this season? Who was helping you organize this season?
So I think the planning team like officially like consisted of like it was myself, Kyle, Backyard, Rosemary, my sister, Keegan and Toby.
And
And Mitch?
You said Mitch had an involvement. Are you leaving Mitch out?
Mitch wasn't. I think Mitch wasn't in the planning group. He was like, "Oh, yeah, like I'll be there like on the day and stuff," and probably did some stuff in the lead up as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the lead up, it was. I'm trying to remember like, and then obviously like my parents, like right from the start, been like a real big part of like getting things together, like in my dad like chucking everything into the tightly packed in the trailer in a certain way and like getting everything there and things. So there was a lot of like logistical stuff around that.
What are the cast? Is the cast, what proportion of this cast is people that you knew that you asked to play, or did you have applications as well?
Let's go. I'll go through them all. People I knew. Obviously, I knew Liam. I knew.
You said you've been dating Liam for 2 weeks. You knew him before you were dating.
But I knew him like a bit before then. So like I wanted Liam to play season 1, but he couldn't because he was like working and stuff.
So you knew him, then you started dating, and then he was helping out a little bit. Be like, I need you to play.
Yeah, pretty much.
So Liam, Ingrid, what's her situation?
So Ingrid, I've known for years as well. Longer than Liam as well. So Ingrid and Steph, I've known. Who else did I know? I met Tara once. I knew Kelvin, but I had never met him. Yeah.
Vince, JT, where did they come from?
Applied, yeah.
Yeah, so you did have applications as well. They applied.
Yeah, so they applied like Rance applied like late, I think.
At Jason you applied.
At Jason applied. He had the best application video.
Did he?
Yeah, he like reenacted. Not reenacted, but he like enacted like finding like idols and stuff, and being oh, I won't tell anyone about this, and it was like running around in bushes and stuff. It was
and he gave you none of that content on the actual show.
Yeah, I think it's on the Facebook page though somewhere.
Happens sometimes. Okay, so there's a mix there of people you knew and people that applied. That's fantastic. Were you wondering like, where am I getting these applicants from? Like, now you get thousands of applicants, hundreds of applicants. It's a whole fucking process to get through them all. Back then, like, you're like, where are these people coming from?
Yeah, it was so exciting. Like, I mean, it still is. Like, you just like, I mean, you did like casting for Uncharted Waters as well. Like every time, like you. Like you're always like refreshing and stuff, and like when someone comes in, you're like, oh my gosh, who's this? Who are they?
And then I'll be like, oh, it's another generic white guy who's a bit boring and a bit sporty. Awesome. That's what my casting process was like.
There are a lot of white men.
A lot of white men that apply. As I said, you need to be pretty special. To be a straight white and other things. You managed to have, I don't know if there was an intent to be very LGBTQI plus friendly in this season, but it had a very strong representation from that community.
So this season, it was just like everyone who applied who was able to be there and didn't like pull out for any reason, like was in the cast, plus extras who were fill-ins like Steph and Liam.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was just thinking it's a very strong representation, particularly of gay men on the season.
Yeah. Which like I didn't realize for so long, but like this season is pretty much exactly like made up of conservative Christians and gay men.
That could have been the theme. Christians versus gay men.
What a theme.
Not all of them. Like CM is neither of those things. And obviously Liam is straight. But obviously there's a few people. Then the revelation last week that Jason Muscles was gay as well. Like it just like skewed the whole. Oh my god! Like this was all gay guys, which is fantastic. I like the representation. I didn't assume, and you should never make assumptions. I didn't make assumptions about Jason, but he just seemed to be a bit of a like straight himbo style. So like,
yeah, yeah, it does.
apparently, according to Ashley, JP and Tara were both not out at that point, and Tara was a conservative Christian.
A conservative Christian who swore a lot.
CM was on exile by himself. Okay, so you get these people that come, they play. Now, JP, used to say famously, we didn't manage to get him on the Tea Party last week, sadly. But he said that his contribution to crewing after he got famously booted from the first step was a huge asset to the season. Is that your recollection as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I like Vince too, which makes sense as to why they jumped on for Playing with Fire. But so basically as soon as JP was voted out, he's just like, all right, what can I do? You see him in the background of shots, he's filming people, and we had a real skeleton crew as well, so it was it was pretty helpful and needed.
How many did you have on the crew on the day? Maybe 7 or 8 or something, maybe?
Yeah, so we had the people I mentioned from the the planning team, minus Kyle, obviously distance and things.
Yeah.
And we had my mom doing food, and then we had Jules Stewart, who's great. She did the data stuff. And among other things. We had Mitch.
Jules is great. Is she to blame though for the lost tribal council footage?
No. I think my disorganization is probably to blame for that, but also just lack of experience in doing any of that before. An SD card must have just gone missing at some point, or
Rancy says Liam's not straight. He's stolen him from you, Liz. So watch out. If anyone could do it, Rancy. You must have been a bit devastated though when you were making the actual product and you went to find those tribal councils, because there's tribal Look, I'm not a big fan of tribal councils either on the real show. I tend to tune out. They're all a bit people just saying nothing that's not very value, and that happens in LRG ones a lot as well. But the 2 tribals you lost were the ones where Calvin pulls out the idols in front of everyone and doesn't play them, and the one where he plays them both. Those are big tribal councils.
Yeah. No. Liam can probably remember how stressed I was about that. I think I don't know.
No offense to Steph, but you lose the Steph tribal council, it's not the end of the world, honestly,
there was a lot. I think the Steph tribal was all right. She had she has a fun accent and stuff.
It was good. I'm just saying, there's tribals that hers is a standard tribal. It's pretty clear who's going. She goes, that's it. That's why I said no offense to her. Something to do with her. It's just it's a fairly formulaic boot. It's not the sort of stuff that happens on those particular ones, which is a good run because you have those 2, and then you have the merge tribal, which you do have to put in, which is
just talking about how so many things in this season were on the edge of it just managed to somehow work out. For the merge tribal council, there was a massive, you can hear it in the music slightly. You can hear a bit of Sweep It Psycho as Tara's voting, and a bit of starships and stuff, because there was a massive concert or party happening.
Was that part of the scout camp?
Yeah,
was it part of the scout camp that was going on there, because you could see them in the background.
Yeah, because you can't book out you probably could book out the whole place if you had a shit ton of money, but yeah, you never like guarantee like who else is going to be there. And so yeah, and it was so loud, and I was like, "There's no way that this." And Toby's like, "It's all good. It's chill. Got my directional mic. We're groovy."
It does say
yeah,
words like that. It does agree with
and
you.
it was.
It does. You can hear everything perfectly. I didn't hear that sound that you're talking about.
Yeah, and now I have these beautiful associations with the song "Sweet But Psycho."
Wonderful.
Which before I hated this
Fantastic.
song, but now I really like it.
It was a fantastic tribal, and I could see a lot of the scouts in the background throughout the season. Who was the old dude just sitting behind you in that like later tribal councils?
I think I forgot a member of crew, which is awful. Arkle, potentially, or unless. Okay, Arkle was this guy who I never didn't know at all. None of us knew him. He was someone who like had found on like Star Now or something. Who was like just doing like crew things for like various like projects. Who like worked as like a stuntman and stuff. He had like wild stories and like conspiracy theories and things. It was just like we never heard from him again. But yeah.
It's a bit of a weirdo. Showed up to help crew from some random website I've never heard of. And then by the end of it, he's had enough of it and he's just going to sit right behind you in the shot.
I honestly, it might also not be him. It could also be, it could be Ian from season 1.
Oh, he was there helping. I was wondering it was Ian, but why is this person sitting in the shot no matter who they are?
I don't know, but like, I don't really care a lot about people being in shots, especially if they're past contestants, because I'm like, well, that's a fun cameo. Like if they're always in the shot, then yeah, maybe it's a little bit like distracting. But like generally, I'm
all the time. And to be honest, it was distracting because you were really nailing the tribal councils actually this season. Like I think you were really on fire in terms of nailing the questions, making the tribal councils interesting. You know, of the season
out all the bits where I'm like, I don't like. What am I like? Oh, how many people have been voted out? Like 7,
yes.
no, 8th person voted. You know, like
it's edited. If you were doing that, it's edited very well. And I think Playing with Fire, you tried to edit that out, and I don't know if you could do it completely. So, and I don't know if it's because I was there and I was experiencing this, but on this one, it's very smooth, very smooth.
Cheers.
And according to Annabelle, you looked gorgeous, dude. I saw you had the coverage last week.
Yeah, I need to go back to the gym. Like I was looking at it back, and I'm like, wow.
This is from Tara on Ashley's phone. Arkle was iconic. He would tell us at Galata how famous he was, pulling up his IMDb and being delusional about his stardom. Icon and crew ORCA. You know, he arrived, he shone brightly, and then disappeared just as quickly.
All of those really close up like confessionals, like at the start, they're all Arkle. That was like his thing.
Can we talk about the controversy of the season? Everyone's got an opinion on it. The winner and the runner-up being in a secret relationship. Understand that you knew about the relationship. Did you think that that's something? Obviously, you didn't. But what was your thinking that was not something the other players deserved to know?
I thought that it would just come out. I just didn't think they'd be able to like hide it. I think I also thought like, oh, there's all these other like connections and things. Like it's gonna like some people might hide it, some people might not. I'm interested to see what they do. I think if I had finished watching season 2 of Surviving Reelfoot, where the same thing happened.
Oh, really? I didn't know it was the same thing.
Like the Nick who won rather than the Jake due to more bitter jury. I might have not done that. and like done the everyone reveal your relationships thing a season earlier. But
yes, and we did do that in Playing with Fire, and I presume you had planned to do it anyway. But I, on arrival, asked the question: are you going to be telling us about everyone's relationships? Because I was concerned about a similar situation.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know about Jake and Nick at that time. I only found that out at Playing with Fire. I was more, Tara and CM knew each other from the Orgs, and Jason, Muscles, and Calvin had lived together. And all this was revealed. But I was like, well, not everyone would always reveal this stuff. So I want that's where
we didn't talk about it in confessionals at all. Yeah. There was no like even conversation on camera where they talked about it.
Yeah. No,
like
it does feel like sometimes when you're watching it, like I try and give credit to Jake's game because he didn't play with Nick for half of it, and they were and it was Rancy that sort of brought Nick and Jake together to some extent, but it does sort of seem sometimes like they came in with like a work together plan, and this sort of like this is working really, really well. Like without even saying it to anyone or anything, or even themselves, is they know, they're like, wow, this is just going so unbelievably well in terms of what we may or may not have planned. Look, all's well that ends well. It leads to that fantastic bit in Playing with Fire at the start where it's acknowledged. Let's make clear the relationships, and everyone's like, I know Josh. I know Josh. The only way that could have been funnier is if the Yellow Tribe was first and Josh had sort of been like, Laurel had said, I don't know really anyone. And then like everyone's like, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, if Laurel had been like, I don't really know anyone, I'd be like,
people have been very like I played a one-dayer with Laurel once. Like, it wasn't like they're besties, but personally, I would be very hesitant of anyone that had actually played an org or played a one-dayer together, because I do feel that your bonds are formed in those things that are even more so than perhaps just even more living with someone.
Yeah.
Although there's also the vengeance stuff, if someone voted you out, you're like, I'm always going to get them back. I didn't actually watch the live reunion. Is that something I should do? Was that worth it, my 2 hours?
I don't remember anything from the live reunion except
Zoom reunion. It's a Zoom reunion.
Except a lot of people, I think, like took like Jason Hatt's like they did a screenshot of like his of like him on the screen, and then they put it as their background and stuff, and it just got really trippy. That's the only thing I remember from it.
So it was just chaos, really.
Yeah. I think a lot of people were drunk.
It was in lockdown. They're doing a weird Zoom reunion. Like, fair enough.
It was quite awkward as well. Like, I think they were like no one really knew what they were meant to be saying.
Yeah,
including myself.
Even Jeff Probst in Winners at War determined that doing a Zoom reunion was not a smart idea.
Yeah, I mean, we'd had like some great like Zoom like calls throughout the season, but like yeah. Wouldn't recommend it really. I'd say just go watch another LRG.
I've got a lot to watch. I've got lots to watch, so that's why I'm like 2 hours on this. I think not. On the whole, look, it's a really fun season with some great characters. My opinion on the strat chat editing that could have been tighter, and I think if you did it again, it would actually be even better. But when you went on to do Playing with Fire, you fixed that, you changed it the way you did that, and I think you've shown that what's really important. Like, everyone's going to make their LRGs the way they make them, but a lot of time less is more. And when I'm watching these back to back, sometimes like when they go for an hour, I'm like, oh my god, like what is really going to be in here to entertain me for an hour? But and you had that a bit, but I really think when you watch these and you see, the next episode's like 30 minutes. Yeah, I can watch 30 minutes. Like when you see 55 minutes, and that does happen sometimes in this season, you're like, oh, what's going to happen for 55 minutes? I didn't need to see everything. You really nailed that with Playing with Fire. And I think that's what the learning process is. You look at it, you evaluate, and you go, this could probably be shorter. This doesn't need to be as long.
And you also just find like way more like efficient ways of doing things. Like there are things that I remember there were times when like I'd edited an episode and like I was still editing as things were like coming as I was like airing stuff.
That's your style. That's how you do it. You see you need the pressure of the deadline to get it done. Otherwise, it doesn't get done. That's how you roll. That's your style.
I don't know. We'll see how we go with maybe it's true.
You are the sort of person that's like, the assignment is due in 3 months. No, I will start that assignment 2 days before it's due.
Yeah.
I'm also that
whether
person.
I want to be that person or not.
I'm also that person. But I've seen you work under the deadline.
You're a very successful person. So
I'm a last minute. I need the pressure to perform as well. But yes, I think that I saw you do it in season 3, and it was magnificent. So and you did it here too as well. You said that's how you did it. That's how you work. That's how you operate. Anyway, continue.
It's like, there were episodes where I was like, okay, I can cut this down, but also I just don't have time. So I think the efficiency of everything is like a huge thing.
Yeah, and probably a lot. You're right, and the timing of the storytelling of a vote is probably a lot of work to go. How am I actually going to tell this story? What is the story?
Mm.
I would suggest that to some extent in Playing with Fire, the votes are like, there's not actually a lot of opportunity in a lot of those votes to tell a this or that person's story. Like a lot of them are pretty clear what's happening. Why it's happening is interesting. Like why Laurel is turning on the old yellows. Why he wants to vote. She then wants to vote out Rosie. Those are really It's really interesting, the thinking that's happening, but there's not much of an alternate boot story.
I would argue there's more of it than in Warrandyte. I think or maybe I just really struggled editing that in Warrandyte, finding the alternate thing. The first episode, it's pretty obvious, I think, that Josh is being voted out.
I think you did the first one. I think you did the first one pretty well, particularly as it's the split vote. It could be random.
Helps with the tension at Tribal, especially with how much they're both stressing about it. But I feel like the alternate thing was just we might have an idol.
I think the problem, now that I think about it more, the problem is with this season is that everyone was an alternate. Everyone was throwing up everyone's name, and no one was being clear on their direction. No one was taking the charge and saying, earlier on it works better because Tara's saying it should be this person or this person saying, but then as it gets to the swap, it gets really messy as to who's driving, this new survivor, who's driving the bus, who's actually the target, and they're going around everyone else and saying, oh, well, who do you want it to be? Who do you want it to be?
And it'll be between this person, and then this other person will get votes. And I'll be like, but people don't talk about this other person in their confessionals.
Yeah, and there wasn't enough confessional of, this is the plan. This is what I want to do. This is my goal. We're going to vote out this person.
Or this is the other thing that I might do, even though I know I'm really going to do this thing, Yeah, and so really weighing up the options is so important in confessionals.
And I think you might have learned that going into season 3, that you need to get the people doing the confessionals to not let those people say whatever they like. You need to get specific information about them from them, especially going into a vote about what they think is actually happening, because that's how we can best inform the narrative for the viewer.
Yeah, 100%.
But look, congratulations, 7th best. Maybe you might not think that's very good, but you still have another season to come in this ranking. Who knows where that will come? But you have another season to come, and the impact of this season and yards apart, as we said at the start of this episode, cannot be understated. And the work that you put into it, and the crew that assisted you in making this happen, in creating this entire huge community that now exists. 5 years on, or 6 years, 5 years on, is an that's an incredible achievement. What you did in making this, what Kyle and Brian did in making Yards Apart, them coming out, them airing the effort, and then everyone saying, I could be a part of this. I could do my own. I could play. I could crew. I could be part of this community. I can find people that love Survivor the way that I do. And if it wasn't for these things, it wasn't for your brainchild to do this or theirs to do that, you and I would not be sitting here. So I think that the whole community owes you and Carl Brian an absolute debt of gratitude for putting yourself out there and doing this. Like before there was, I know there was American versions, but before there was a template, before there was even to think, is anyone even going to apply? Like, there's a real risk here. Like, putting yourself out there and doing something like this. Is anyone going to watch it? Am I going to spend like hours editing this fucking thing, and is anyone going to watch it? Like, I'm sure these doubts were there, right? But you still pushed through, made the season, made the edit, put it out there, put yourself out there as a host, you put yourself out there as a creator, and taking a risk in that respect, because people are going to criticize and people are going to compliment. That's part of making creation, making art in a way, making anything and putting it out there and for people to comment upon. That requires bravery. And, I think absolute applause and claps for you for doing this and then it being the beginning of such a huge thing.
Oh, cheers. That's really nice. By the same token, I think none of this season in particular would have happened without if you take away one person from the crew, it goes you lose you lose 10% of the confessionals and 10% of that footage. So it's I think there's so many different parts that had to come together for it to happen. So
yeah, I'm not going to give you all the credit, but you're the host and creator, as you say, in a little bubble there. And yes, everyone that assisted you with this crew obviously are important. And without them, you can't make the show by yourself. It's just and now it's so easy to get crew. You get lots of people that are happy to crew, and it's a different world now in this community. But when you started this incredible job, you should be really proud of yourself. I'm sure you are, about what's eventuated from this little idea here. Going on to our next season that we're going to be covering, have you watched Brisbane?
I love Brisbane. Yeah.
Bit old school, the old school style.
I do love the old school style. And yeah, I agree with you. It's just so incredibly polished and well put together for a first season. Yeah. I think it's an easy watch as well.
It's got its own score. The music's sort of written for it. It's got it doesn't use Survivor music like the rest of us do, which is a simple thing to do. Sam's got someone else to make their own music for it. I think no offense to anyone else that's on any of these, yourself included, in my view, Sam's probably the best host of the whole community. I think he's just got a real he's got his own style, but it's just really sort of natural and friendly, but also he's trying to get in there and get the answers. I think there's a little bit of rawness to it, but I think that when he eventually releases Brisbane season 2, and he's actually got a cast that are not A, his family and friends, and B, people that actually love Survivor, because you can tell there's some people in that season that I don't fucking watch Survivor. I think I would really look forward to his hosting job on that season. I think it can be quite special.
Yeah, he's quite like polished, but also like natural.
Yeah,
it's cool.
It's very hard. Like that sort of hosting gig is not easy. I don't think anyone can appreciate how hard it is to do that hosting, to do the challenge commentary. Like you've actually stood in the
commentary. It's so much fun. It's
like
the most fun part. The challenge commentary is the most fun part of hosting. Like just calling people out.
Your commentary is fun because you got your style. Like your style is the fun style. Like everyone's got their own style. Like you don't want everyone to try and be Jeff Prost, right? Like no one's Jeff Prost.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
You know, like you do your own thing.
I love that about like each of the like Australian like fan-made survivors is that like each of them like does have their own like distinct style and like different things that they bring out of Survivor.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to Brisbane, and then we will be doing. If you want to start binging, do you want to this? I don't know. Do you want to announce? I'm going to announce. You can tell. You can guess. What do you think the number 5 season is that we'll be covering after Brisbane? Yeah. So if you need to remind, do you need to know what's left, or are you good?
Number 5.
Canberra season
2 hasn't come up yet.
Yeah, Canberra 2, Playing with Fire, Sydney, Yards Apart, Exile.
Wait, Exiles happen, isn't it?
No. Oh, sorry, Redemption. Apologies. Redemption.
Oh, yeah. Because I was going to
no, your time is done.
I think it's Canberra season 2.
It's not. It will be Yards Apart.
No, that is so wrong. Absolutely not.
I'm equally disappointed. I think it's a fantastic season. I think we're a little bit. Look, absolutely. I think part of the voting was skewed to more recent seasons.
Yeah,
I think
like more people have been a part of them.
Yeah, more people have watched and been a part of more recent seasons. But I agree, and also. Backyard had 4 seasons you could vote for. There's a cannibalization of votes, and Redemption, which is obviously still to come, is it's one of these funny things. Yard Apart is a better season playing wise, but the quality of the production in Redemption is out of this world. So
the story.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? The production's amazing, right?
Yeah, like a lot of Yards Apart is like in the dark and stuff, but like
but it's great. I agree. I find it riveting. I'm very looking forward to rewatching it. But also that obviously announces that, which was already announced, I guess, that Backyard will have 2 seasons in the top 5. So congratulations to Backyard. And then we will obviously review what comes forth later on. But thank you, Liz, for joining me. Thank you for everyone who's watched live. Thank you for everyone who will watch or listen to this later on. We know that you do. We appreciate your support. We appreciate the continued support for the ORCA Pod in this countdown. As I say, next week, join me with Jules as we will be breaking down Brisbane Survivor Season 1. We'll do 4 weeks of coverage, the same events. So we do deep dives, tea party, then the catch up with Sam. It's going to be really interesting to get his perspective of how he put together that really fantastic season on his first go. And then we will be moving into Yards Apart, which I'm very excited to cover because it is such a fantastic season. And if you're watching at home along and you're not really watching the seasons, which I get, it's a lot to watch, and you haven't watched Yards Apart, go watch Yards Apart because it actually is fantastic. And we'll have all the coverage for that. And then possibly at that point, we will break for coverage of One World. How good of a name is One World?
It's the best name.
It just goes along with Yards Apart as well. And I also like how it's I love these puns based on real Survivor seasons, but they're also like shitty Survivor seasons. Like Worlds Apart and
the backyard versions are like
superior. They're superior to the Worlds Apart and One World. I really like it, and now I realize that all of backyards seasons are either a pun or named after a real season, with Redemption and Exile. And again, it's always shitty seasons from like
Exile was great. Like which I maybe it's
oh, sorry.
Yeah.
That's unfair. Exile is Panama, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Exile is good.
Therese introduction.
Yeah, I don't really love Aris or Terry.
It's alright.
I like Shane.
Oh, Shane.
Shane was good value. Great, right. Anyway, as we reminisce about old Survivor, it's very excited for that. And I think that's going to be coming out soon. And then there's going to be a whole bunch coming out. If you're into this stuff, there is in the can. There will be there's I think there's 2 seasons of Canberra in the can. There's a Brisbane season. There's a Sydney season. There's a Melbourne season coming out later this year. So I think there's another backyard season in the can now. There is a lot of stuff still to come, and we'll be covering it all here at the ORCA Pod. We love covering it. We love watching it. Thank you, Liz. Thank you for watching along. I'll see you all next week as we get into Brisbane.
Thanks for having me.